Yay! We are live.
We
Uh-oh.
are
Where'd you
good.
go?
I'm right
It's good to see
here.
Michael Omeka.
Yes.
I'm so excited to have this interview because you're a TEDx speaker and also a coach.
Yes.
And I want to start with my name's Angelica Corral, and we're with What in the World Events. Everybody who's here tonight, we are thankful that you were able to make it. And this video is going to replay. So, all of you that get to see the replay, we're thankful that you got to check us out. But
Yes.
I'm really excited because Michael, you have information on how to be a TEDx speaker and also on how your whole experience was. So, but I want to start with who is Michael Omeka? Am I pronouncing your name right first?
Yes. Yes. You are pronouncing it
Where are you
correctly.
from? And tell us a little bit about your family and and your growing up, how you grew up.
Absolutely. I am happy to share.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for this opportunity and doing this because I think that these are important stories that need to be amplified. And quickly about me, my name is Michael Omeka, and I was born and raised in Nigeria. I
Mhm.
am one of 8 children, so I have 7 siblings. And I was also born on the seventh. And in my building, I live on the seventh floor. And there's a lot of sevens in my life. It's like my lucky number. Um, but yeah, I
Seven means perfection.
is that so? That is very awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I always joke that I have the triple seven, born on the seven, have 7 siblings, and then I'm number 7 among my child's my parents' children.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, so I grew up out there, and the thing about growing up in Nigeria is that by the time I was 7, I started hawking ice water,
Uh-huh.
and that is to support my family because as kids we had to choose between getting food or going to
Mhm.
school. And when you're in such situations, survival kicks in, and getting food is way more important. So I was doing
Absolutely.
that, and then I ended up skipping a lot of grades in school.
Mhm.
Um, but eventually, because also like the K9, K12 education out there, it is not free, and
Mhm.
so it's like to go to school, you have to have some resources, and we didn't have resources, so it was really hard for me to go to school. Um, and yeah, but with support, family support, relative support, support from people in my community, I was able to attain a 12th grade education. And from there, that's how my journey to the US began.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love Nigerian culture, and one of the things that because I was on TikTok a lot, I love the music and the
Okay.
dancing.
Yeah. Afrobeats right now is like at the top of the music genres.
Oh yeah.
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 It's a
I,
phenomenon.
it is. I love it. So I want to talk about what inspired you to receive your scholarship because you received a scholarship in school,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
So let's hear a little bit about that because you when you were younger were not able because of course you had to take care of serious things for the family, and
Absolutely.
that's so understandable. So what inspired you?
Yeah. So after I finished 12th grade, after I finished high school, um, I was at this crossroad where it was not entirely clear how I was going to go to college.
Mhm.
And among the 8 kids that my parents have, only one has gone to college. And I was attempting to do the same thing. Um, the people that helped support me through 12th grade education, they said, listen, we have tried our best. And I think you should probably go learn a vocation, go
Mhm.
like a carpenter or roadside mechanic, um, because there is no way we're going to support you through university either. Uh,
Mhm.
and I'm just a person of faith. Like I believe that if we do our part, God, the universe, like it's gonna play its own part. And so with faith, with blind faith, I went and took our entrance examination in
Mhm.
Nigeria. And that's our version of the SAT.
Yeah.
And after taking that exam, the admissions people they told me that I would have to pay a bribe for 100,000 naira, which 10 years ago was a shit ton of money, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, 100,000 naira, I don't have that money, you know.
Mhm.
And so I was rejected the first time, even though I had all the qualifications.
Mhm.
And then in the second year of trying to apply again, I read this quote from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the first female president in Africa. She was
Nice.
the president of Liberia. And she said, if your dreams do not scare you, your dreams are not big enough. And so when I heard those, I got a little chill, you know. I was like, maybe I'm actually not dreaming big enough. Maybe I'm not thinking big enough. Maybe I need to expand the horizon of my imagination. And after that kind of wore off, like after that first impact, I decided that I wanted to go and study abroad on scholarship. And,
Mhm.
and yeah, and so I started just doing research and learning about the application process, what it was going to entail, you know, like just everything that was going to, you know, be in the process. And yeah, um, but yeah, so that rejection. Now, one of my mantras is rejection is redirection for something better. Like that rejection from that school in Nigeria, if it had not happened, I probably would not have had that extreme motivation and impetus to like go and conjure up a dream that would actually have a profound impact, you know. Yeah.
That's
So
beautiful.
the roots, it's actually failure that is at the root of that success, if we're being totally honest.
Isn't that something? I like the way how sometimes, we want something to go our way,
Right.
but the other way is a better way.
Way better way.
So
But
that's
then,
so cool. Go
but
ahead.
the funny thing is that when we are facing that rejection, it hurts like hell. We,
Mhm.
we're not going to pretend that rejection doesn't hurt. Like it really failure, it hurts.
It does.
You see all the friends that you went to school with, they all getting the admission. And you
Mhm.
know, Nigerians are flamboyant as hell. Like they will put it right in your face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No trouble letting you know that you have failed and they have succeeded, you know. And
Mhm.
so like the crush to this, you know, like you just it is not fun.
Mm.
But when you are able to look back and see that, oh wow, that was a turning point. What I thought was failure actually was the seed for one of the greatest success stories, you know, that ever attained. And so,
Beautiful.
yeah,
That's beautiful. Now, I know there's something that is very special to you, and it's called Ubuntu.
yes, 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 yes,
Tell me a little bit about Ubuntu and
absolutely,
your
absolutely. So Ubuntu, it's a philosophy, it's a lifestyle, it's a way of living, rooted in the African culture, and it is loosely translated to "I am because we are." I am because we are, and it's such a very very profound concept that actually helped me get to where I am because without my community, I there would be no Michael Omeka at all. Like without people supporting me every step of the way in
Mhm.
ways that they don't even know.
Wow.
Sometimes it's positive energy, sometimes it's them telling me that, yeah, you can do that, you're not smart enough, you're not intelligent enough. Both of those are necessary, you know, like
Mhm.
it takes rain and sunshine for the plant to grow.
Mhm.
So when I get those unwanted, unsolicited opinions about why I cannot do something, it serves as fuel. When someone says you can do it, it serves as fuel also. So either way. But at the heart of Ubuntu is this idea of communalism, like
Mhm.
having this social network, having this support system that are able to be there for you. Um, like if we look at recent articles that have come out, we see that the effects of loneliness today,
Mhm.
scientists, they say it's as bad as smoking 5 packs of cigarettes a day.
Wow.
That's just the physical impact that loneliness is having on our culture and our system today. And a big part of that is that lack of interconnectedness.
Mhm.
And like when I went through grades, middle school to high school, it was literally church members that would come together and start donating their individual money. So they'll have like a little pot in the middle, and people
Mhm.
would donate, and that would be my school fees for the whole year. The school fee was like $100, but it was a lot of money.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so all through high school, all through middle school, even during boarding school, my parents, because again, we are so economically disadvantaged, if they could not come to visit me to bring provisions, it was family, friends of
Mhm.
friends that they would all, put together, scrap together things and give to me. I was that kid.
Wow,
Um,
that is great though. And that's Ubuntu.
and that is Ubuntu. It's because it's that it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
And any success I have, future success, past success, current success, it's all because of the people that have been able to impact me. Yeah, it's a
That
very,
is
very powerful concept.
it is. That's awesome. And speaking of people that are in your community, we have somebody in the comments, Fernando, who's in my community, who says, "Guess who's back?" Ah, it's good to see you, friend, and it's good to have you in the community. Um, uh, you've got our backs, and we appreciate you so much.
Yes.
And you know what? The funny thing about Fernando is he's not too far away from you, Michael.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, he's in San Francisco. So maybe
Really?
yeah, so maybe you guys could meet up for
Yeah,
coffee
we'd
or
love to
something.
connect. You see,
We
Angelica, you are like the connector angel.
we gotta continue with the Ubuntu over here.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Ubuntu, Ubuntu.
Ubuntu, Ubuntu.
Uh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So, in what ways have you witnessed personal growth with everything that's happened with you?
Um, in what ways have I experienced personal growth? I think the most recent would be the TEDx talk that I gave,
Mhm,
and um, it also really, really solidified the concept of failure for me personally, because
mhm,
the first time I got approved to do a talk was in Seattle, Washington, and that was
mhm,
in 2021.
mhm,
But as fate would have it, that got cancelled, and um, it was such a shock because I'd already announced it. So much so
mhm.
that people in my DMs all the time, yeah, when's your TED Talk dropping? When's your TED Talk dropping? But I'm like, it's been cancelled. And it was so embarrassing. Like it was so shameful. I was like, oh my god, am I out here just lying? you know, because I announced, they told me that I was gonna give a TED Talk, and I was already booking flights, and they said, oh, like it was cancelled. So most of 2022, I was trying to reapply,
Uh-huh.
um, and for the most part, you just don't hear nothing back. Like you
Mm,
don't hear nothing from the organizers. Um, and the few times you would hear something, it's like, oh, we already booked, we're already fully at capacity, or like we're already, um, or some would be like, oh yeah, like there was just all these
mhm.
hindrances. Uh,
Yes.
but one thing I learned is that it's one of MLK's quote that we just have to have faith to take the next step of the staircase. We don't necessarily have to know where the whole staircase is leading.
Mhm.
but we have to know that it's leading somewhere. And so, armored with that, I just kept that resiliency on. I just said, stick to the process, and that's something I also learned a lot in the gym, because if you stick to the process, you'll
Mhm.
get the outcome eventually. May not be when you want it to happen, but eventually it happens. And so all that rejection for all of 2023, it
Mhm.
was at December that the TEDx team at UNC, they reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, would love to have you on our stage." And I was like, "Perfecto."
Yay.
But if I had given up at some point, then like I think giving up is just not an option. Like I don't it's really not an option.
I
Uh,
love that.
yeah,
Well, it looks like Fernando says he would love to meet up with you, so you guys need to
absolutely.
connect.
Absolutely. I'm not
And it
looking at any of the comments right now. Stay more focused.
okay, that's all right. Según
I did not.
Adedopo
That's my
says
best friend from high school. He was my bunkmate.
he says, "Michael has inspired a lot of us. You made me believe anything is possible."
That's
So
my guy. That's my best friend from high school.
that's Ubuntu.
Yes, yes, yes. We'll pass it on.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. And
yeah.
this is funny because on LinkedIn we have Ubuntu communities.
Oh,
Mhm.
really?
Well, yeah, now that I know you, you're part of the community that,
Part of it.
whenever I hear anything that's going to be helpful for you,
Absolutely.
I'm going to let you, like already you and Fernando are going to connect. And
Looking
I'm in
forward to connecting.
California. Oh, what's that?
I said, looking forward to connecting, Fernando. What part of California are you?
I'm in Southern California.
Oh, you in SoCal?
But
I'll
sometimes I
be,
go to Northern, so we gotta stay connected so
yeah,
we can
I'll
have
be in
some
SoCal
coffee.
next week, actually. I'll be in LA next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we gotta connect then because it's not too far away from me. My
Okay.
sister lives in LA.
I used to live there myself. So,
Yeah, really? So
yeah.
how do you like LA?
I loved it. I love Pasadena. Shout out, yeah, shout out Pasadena. But I think at some point I just wanted to be back in the Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of art there in Pasadena, huh?
oh yeah, it's such a quaint little beautiful town. I love
Nice.
going to the Rose Bowl. That was my favorite part. The real Rose Bowl, and then passing through Old Town is just like,
I need to go there again. It's not too
yeah,
far.
yeah.
Let's
What
see.
county are you?
What's that?
What county are you?
I'm in San Diego County.
Oh, you in SD.
Mhm.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Thanks. Oh, we have a lot of things going on over here. We have the Comic-Con. I don't know if you like comics or if you like movies and stuff like that, but that's a big deal.
Oh yeah,
And yeah.
okay. We'll definitely connect more on that then.
Yeah. So, I'm excited to hear about your family. What is a success story that you could share about your family with us?
My mom, actually, she's like one of my superheroes. Um, I always tell people that all the good traits I have from her, and all the
Nice.
not so great ones I develop on my own accord. But yeah, she is one of the most relentless and resilient humans that I've ever encountered. Raising five boys almost by yourself and three girls, that's not easy.
That is
No. Yeah, and she's also a very, very giving person, um,
mhm,
super, super generous. And the success of the family is that it's the mentality that she's been able to install in us. Like, she was able to install in us that we can be victims of circumstances, but we ourselves, we can never identify with victimhood. She
mhm,
always she always let us see because she's a Christian, she's an evangelist.
mhm.
um, she always helped us connect with biblical characters, and those biblical characters were always doing exploits. And yeah, she would always install in us the belief that we matter, that just us being here, it's success enough,
Mhm.
and that the stars, it's just our launching pad, like we would wake up not knowing what to eat at all, but she would have this relentless faith that God will make a way, and it usually did, you know. So I think the family success is it's like that sense, that mindset, that if you set your mind to something, you can actually do it.
So it's made a big difference in your life having that
Absolutely,
background.
yes,
Awesome.
yes.
So now let's get into the TED talk.
Yeah, let's do it.
So what is it that made you want to do a TED Talk or decide to?
Aside from the bragging rights, that is. um, no, I actually, it was funny enough. It was not. I can't take credit for the idea because it's originally not mine. Um, I was in a room in Clubhouse. I think 2020. I was in Phoenix, Arizona.
Uh-huh.
One of my best friends from high school's place,
Mhm.
and in that room in Clubhouse, they were talking. People were, sharing their stories,
Mhm.
sharing how they got to where they were. And I just shared my story nonchalantly because I'm already used to it. It happened to me.
Mhm.
You remember the analogy of fish being in water. It's like, what is water to a fish, right?
Mhm.
Um, you become so used to your story that sometimes you forget that it can actually be inspirational. And so I
Mhm.
was just sharing that story, and this lady, she came through the back channel and got in my DMs on Instagram, and she said, Michael, you have to become a motivational speaker or a public speaker, and your story needs to be shared on TEDx stage. And I was like, really? She
Mhm.
was, it was, she was so sure about it.
Mhm.
Like that's so interesting, like you
Mhm.
just heard me speak for like 30 seconds. Uh,
Mhm.
but after she implanted that idea, it took a while, but eventually it took a life of its own.
Mhm.
And the more I shared the story, the more I saw that it would be beneficial to others. And then I did a quick run. I shared it on Facebook, and
Yes.
someone read it and got super inspired to apply for their own scholarship.
Wow.
And then they reached out to me, kind of helped them a little bit in the process, on Facebook Messenger. And last December, he came to visit me. Like literally someone from the internet. He was like,
Nice.
yeah, he was a little bizarre. Um, but to think that someone from the internet can manifest themselves in real life in your presence, I think that was very, very humbling and very, very profound. And I think once that happened, the message became extraordinarily clear. Like the message just became so much clearer. That, oh yes, okay, I think we are ready for this. And that's around the time that TEDx UNC ended up reaching out, and so it just worked out so perfectly.
Well, that's awesome. So
Yes,
anybody can connect with you and find that get the link, right?
yes.
Do you have a link on your profile to?
So the TEDx people have not uploaded the talk yet. I just have my private copy, which I sent to you.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
So
because I
when
hired
did?
a videographer to cover the event for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I had my own videographer and photographer as well. It is not exactly sure clear when they were uploaded yet,
Uh-huh.
but immediately it does. I think it's viral. It's
I think so too.
yeah.
That's awesome. So when did you give your TED Talk, if you don't mind?
February 17th.
Of this year?
Yes,
So you're a newbie.
very newbie, very first.
Yay.
Yeah, Yeah.
Wow,
But the beautiful thing
congratulations.
is that you can do more than one. So, because I also have other ideas in me that I think are worth sharing. One of them being, I was joking with Shagun, you know,
Mhm.
uh,
That's how you say his name, Shegun.
Shagun or
Shegun.
Baba Shage. Yeah, he was the most gifted soccer player on our whole squad.
Wow.
So he's very athletic. He was our games prefect as well. Um, yeah, my best friend now for almost 15 years. Crazy. But we were joking. I was telling him that I gave a whole TED talk and I didn't mention fitness. How
Mm.
crazy is that? Because that's how most of my friends know me. They know me through fitness, So we're like, we'll just give another TED talk on fitness related topic.
That's
Uh,
perfect.
yeah, so that has a life of its own. Because that's one of my also like big foundations, fitness and physical and mental fitness just
Mhm.
going hand in hand,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think when you're, physically fit, you start thinking more about how you eat, um, and also it all of the things you look at, you pay more attention to how to stay on track, right?
yeah, 100%. I agree.
So tell me, what type of physical fitness is it that you do? Is it soccer or is it what was it that you played with? You said soccer,
Um,
right, with Shogun?
yeah, I played soccer, and then ping pong.
Mhm,
It's one of my actual, yeah, I love that sport. But mostly weightlifting, hypertrophic training, resistance training, strength training, conditioning.
mhm,
Because I did boxing in college,
mhm.
so we did a lot of conditioning. Um, yeah, but I'm not as conditioned as I used to be back when I was an athlete. Yeah, but yeah, right now it's mostly strength training and then like some plyometrics, which is like power related work. Um,
So what is your favorite type
favorite,
of mhm,
definitely strength training, resistance training.
really?
Yeah, that's what the TED Talk will be on. The transformative, life changing benefits of resistance training.
Now the strength training has to do with weights, right?
Yes, body weights, external weights.
Mhm,
Yeah, as long as there's resistance, the muscle will be stimulated, and if they're stimulated, they will they will go through some changes, which very very beneficial.
I've read a few things about that. I've read that it really helps to prevent dementia,
Absolutely,
and it's very good for your bone growth.
absolutely. Bone density.
Mhm,
Yeah.
so, in your workout, that should always be in there.
Yeah, no, resistance training has been found to be antidepressant. It's as effective as taking antidepressant medication. It's been found to reduce all-cause mortality by almost 50%.
Mhm,
It's been found to greatly increase bone density, which prevents a lot of especially in aging population,
mhm,
a lot of the injuries that they are prone to.
mhm,
It's been found to significantly reduce all cognitive impairments like dementia,
mhm.
Parkinson's, Alzheimer. Yeah, I can just go on and on and on and on, but yeah,
Well, you're gonna get some people to follow you on the strength training. You might have to do a coaching session.
yeah, absolutely. I actually do part-time personal training.
Really?
Yeah, I
Maybe
have
you
time.
and you and Fernando will do some, personal training. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be cool. And then we'll send you a video.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe you could do a little mini session with me and sis when you come to LA.
absolutely. That would be fun.
We could do a video. We could do a LinkedIn video and show how we
Absolutely.
connecting.
I'm sure the LinkedIn community will love that because it's always great when you go from internet, you know, connection to actual real life meeting in person.
I think so too. I've met
Especially
a
if it's in different cities. It's
yes.
yeah.
Have you been able to meet people from LinkedIn yet or
I haven't tried.
no?
No, I
Okay,
haven't
then
really tried.
we're gonna do it then.
Yeah, but I didn't meet people from Clubhouse though when it was in its heyday.
Yes, I used to go on, I used to have a few rooms on Clubhouse, and
Hmm,
I loved it. I used to teach Spanish, and
really?
yeah,
I'm trying
and
to learn Spanish actually, being in San Francisco.
yeah. Well, I was talking with some of my friends, and I'm thinking of doing a room on LinkedIn on Easy Spanish. Easy
Okay.
Spanish.
Conversation Spanish.
Yeah, there you go. Conversational Spanish.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get back to you because this is about you. So how what type of resources are there out there for people that want to get a scholarship?
um, the first thing would be having a very, very strong why.
Mhm.
Um, um, One of the most profound TED talks I've listened to, it's by Simone Sinek,
Oh, yeah.
and it's called "Start with Why," and
Mhm.
I absolutely resonate because anything worth doing would require effort.
Mhm.
If you want to have a six pack, you know it's going to require effort. You're literally not going to be like, I woke up like this. No,
Mhm. Mhm.
don't believe the Instagram model hypes. It's not real. It's going to require some effort. And so it's scholarship because it's they're funding you. But the number one thing is would be have a very, very strong why.
Yes.
Mm. And those why they can be multiple. It doesn't have to be one. And then number two, I think coming in with the correct mindset, in that you are not begging the schools, because I a lot of the people that apply for scholarship, especially
Mhm.
from the global south,
Mhm.
very, very underfunded, very, very economically disadvantaged backgrounds, they
Mhm.
come with their hands out like this. And those schools, they want to know that you will be an asset to them. They are not just bringing
Mhm.
you over just to be like, you have to demonstrate that you will be an assets to the schools.
Mhm.
And one of the ways to demonstrate is to have the correct mindset, that this will be a partnership, this will be an exchange of value. They are going to not
Mm.
be funding my education, but I'll also be contributing to their to their campus, to their student life, to their conversation. I will
Yes.
be showing them perspectives that they could never have thought of, just because of where I'm coming from.
Mhm.
I remember one time in class, my professor Karen, she's one of my favorite professors in Berkeley. And
You went to UC Berkeley?
I did, yes, yes,
Nice school. That's a great school.
yeah, it
So
is.
let's hear about Karen.
Yeah, yeah. So she has this class called I something about religion. I can't
Mhm.
remember the exact name, but we were talking about religion, and a lot of the people in the class, it's Berkeley is very liberal.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of the people were either atheists or agnostic, and there
Mhm.
was this just very generalized sweeping for all religion, that religion is just a control mechanism to keep people subdued. And I
Mhm.
was like, okay, there's some validity to that, but that's not all of it.
Mhm.
It's like that would be falling into what Chimamanda Adichie, she calls the single story stereotype, the
Mhm.
danger of the single story. It's like, yes, this is true, but there's also this other element. And then I was telling them that I would not be here in this class right now were it not for tenets or principles that I learned from my mom, from the scriptures.
Mhm.
And one of those being that about faith, that
Mhm.
without faith it's almost impossible to achieve anything. And then
Mhm.
the other part was also that without works, that faith without works is dead. And having those two scriptures really, really, really helped accelerate my success. So I was
Mhm.
telling them that that religion provides something very, very concrete. It provides hope.
Mhm.
And without hope, if you lose hope, you've practically lost everything. So it does not make sense that they would to just castigate things they don't really understand or experience,
Mhm.
And after sharing that, they had like a review at the end of the semester. And
Mhm.
a lot of the students, they were like, oh, when Michael spoke, when he brought his perspective on religion, it
Mhm.
literally opened my eyes and changed the way like I looked at the world and
Mhm.
the concept of religion itself. So
Mhm.
I think one way of getting scholarship is to know that you are also going to be contributing. This is not free money. This is not charity,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
you are bringing some value to both the professor, the student. You're enriching that campus. So having that mindset is also important, very, very important. And then the other part would be like learning to write. What in my TED talk I talked about, um, that learning to write application essays that would keep admissions officers up at night.
Mhm.
So as they're going to bed, they're thinking you like in the back of their mind. And so like the other part would be able to like write very, very compelling essays. Uh,
Mhm.
Another element of the application process is getting stellar recommendation letters from
Mhm.
professors, from people you've worked with, and then getting transcripts. So making sure that all through the semester, all through the quarter, all through the term, you are performing at your best.
Mhm.
And also like just being service oriented. And so when I was in high school, me and Shagun, we
Mhm.
would start mowing the school, our boarding school.
Mhm.
And I didn't know that doing charity, like doing something you thought is good, can cause so much jealousy and anger from other people not doing nothing. Um, like they would be like, "Oh, we are campaigning," and it's like we are trying to help out. You're sitting in class. We are out here like mowing the lawns that you're going to come play soccer in, and we're getting hate. It was so bizarre. But but yeah,
People are there's haters, it's
yes,
and that's
haters, man.
sometimes I have a friend who posted something on online, and he said, "I don't always listen to all the negative things people say about others." And then it says, "Because they could be haters."
Facts. These are 100%.
And
Yeah,
that's what you were dealing with.
yeah. At such young age too. But for me, again, my mom always had us in this way where it's like we're able to like block out negativities.
That's
Um,
great.
yeah. So and also we were very, very, very. We are seeking the approval from our principal. He was
Mhm.
his name is J.A. Bellows. He was like our father figure. He
Oh,
was
that's
an
nice.
impossible man to please. And so one day we mowed the whole school, and he told us, "Good job." And it was like we had won the lottery, Angelica.
Oh,
Me and
wow.
Shagun, we skipped dinner because we were just so happy. We were like, wow. We went the whole hostel. We're like, Bellows told us well done.
That's great.
Yeah. But yeah, like just having that mental. I'm in US on scholarship. Shagun also, he's in US right now on scholarship. And so it tells you like the mentality of people going forward. Um,
Where's
um,
Shagun at?
he's in Arkansas. He's very
Arkansas.
close to Little Rock. Yeah. I'm
So
trying to
you were
bring
gonna
it.
say something. I'm sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no, it's fine, it's fine. But generally, having that ethos of wanting to give back, wanting to contribute, wanting to be helpful, wanting to make yourself useful, I think it literally attracts those type of scholarship and
Mm,
grants to you.
mhm.
What you get is what you give. You know,
Yes.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
So that part would be like the extracurriculars, the leadership position. I was the head boy, he was the games prefect. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, so just having all those together, it makes you a much more rounded candidate. Because I remember when I was applying to Berkeley, there were people that had perfect SAT scores getting rejected. And I
Mhm.
was like, what damn hope do I have if someone got 2400 on the SAT and Berkeley turned them down? I was like, I barely got 2000. Do I have
Somebody
hope?
saw the light in you.
Yeah. But also it's like they're looking at the well-rounded application where it's not just transcript, they
Mhm,
see that you have leadership qualities, they see that you're able
mhm.
to read, see that, you've got stellar recommendations. So all these things put together would absolutely greatly increase odds of success. Thanks for these questions, actually. They are very, very insightful.
Well, thank you for your answers because they're insightful as well. Um, I know having that TEDx talk under you helps a lot too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. The price just went up.
I
Yesterday's price is
love
not
that.
today's price.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Nancy loves it too because she came into the room and she's showing her smiles. So that's nice. Thank you, Nancy, for for showing us your emojis. Makes us she's smiling for you.
Let's go, Nancy.
So that's really cool. I love this and I love that it takes courage when everybody in the room is either an atheist or an agnostic, and then you brought out some of the scriptures to show what your beliefs were. And that's really cool. I think it's on a scientific level. There's a scripture in the Bible that talks about the earth being held on nothing, right? And
Mhm,
so that's
mhm.
what we know. And it talks
Absolutely.
about it being a sphere. And this is before everybody used to think it was flat.
Right, 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 right,
And
right.
so it's so interesting that that's in the scriptures as well, right? So
It is.
it's
I don't think science and religion, I don't think they're opposites.
yes,
They just have different way of explaining the unknown, you know.
yes.
And yeah, that's why I love quantum physics because it binds the two, science and religion.
Well, science is has order
Hmm.
and creation has order. Otherwise the planets would be crashing into each other, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that it just makes sense when you study it, and a lot of scientists actually believe in the Bible too.
Absolutely. Even the
So
founding pioneers,
mm,
Isaac Newton, he was a very, very religious person, the person that helped us discover gravity, basically
mhm.
change all of human um, understanding of the world. So I think it's just the zealots and the extremists that try to conflate these two for their own benefit.
Yeah, I think maybe they might not have that knowledge of what the scriptures say about scientifically either,
Mhm.
because I remember mentioning that to a person that was an atheist, and they were surprised that
Yeah,
that was in the Bible. So I think that's why it's good to have those conversations because you can enlighten people to maybe something they didn't know, right?
absolutely. Yeah. Help expand their thinking.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And inspire them, right? Open it up in a very casual and non-confrontational way, right?
absolutely, absolutely, 100%, 100%.
So I like this conversation. I'm having a
Me
good
too.
time with you.
Me
Like,
too. Me too.
so so we're getting close to the end. No, we still have 10 minutes.
Okay.
So what was the most important thing to you when you came to UC Berkeley? What was in your mind? What was in your heart?
Hmm. Um, I think when I first came, my mind was still very much back home because I wanted to like immediately start supporting my family.
Mhm,
Um, but I realized that that was not possible per se to start doing immediately.
mhm,
Um, and so that caused a little friction.
mhm.
Um, but I would say supporting my family was like really tippy top of the things I wanted to do. And yeah,
So that was the top thing on your mind. But then
yes,
after when you realized that you had to be patient.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That is it would not always work exactly when you want it to work. Yeah, that you're not absolutely in control, you know. So learning the art of surrender. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think once I got to Berkeley, yeah, I really wanted to see how I could help them back home.
That is nice. So, I can imagine how old were you when you got into Berkeley?
23.
23. So
Yes.
here you are in California at UC Berkeley, and you see all these different types of students, and there must have been all these different styles, these different personalities. What was tell me what was that experience like for you?
Honestly, Angelica, I had dreamed of it so much. Like, I had these visualization exercises that I would do where I would picture myself like on UC Berkeley campus.
Mhm.
So when I got there, it felt like I had been there before in a manner of speaking.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It it was much more better than anything I could ever dream or imagine. But at the root of it, it almost felt like my a being that is me, but that is not me, has been there before. So like I had taken myself there mentally, you know. And then there was the ensuing, you know, culture shock
Mhm.
to understand how Americans like communicate. Uh,
Mhm.
for the very first time in my life, I realized that I was black.
Mhm.
Because in Nigeria, you know, race is not. I think most other parts of the world, like race is not really a subject
Mhm.
of discussion, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and then there was like realizing that you also have an accent, and then
Mhm.
struggling with like sense of belonging.
Mhm.
Yeah, but these are things that were to be overcome,
Mhm.
and you realize that with work, with effort, over time, you just become more comfortable, you know. And
Yeah.
I think one of the things that actually really blew my mind about here is just the sheer amount of food that is available for consumption at any given time. I was like, wait a damn minute. I
At
was like,
any time.
I have been going my whole life like scrapping for every meal I eat. And all of a sudden, every meal was not going to be buffet service. I was like, holy crap. Yeah. And so, like, I was just eating, I was guzzling everything. I was on a rampage. I was just out for blood or food in that instance, you know.
So what
Uh,
was your favorite food since you've been here?
I think I love steak.
Steak.
Yeah, I love a good steak, like a good juicy medium rare steak.
Mhm.
Heaven.
And what do
Uh,
you like to eat the steak with usually?
Sometimes rice on the side, sometimes potatoes.
Mhm.
Because also like growing up, we only ate meat once a week on Sunday if we were
Mhm.
lucky.
Mhm.
So meat was such a scarce resource that once I came here, I was like, "There's meat everywhere. Sign me up." No veganism whatsoever. No, 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 no. I've done that enough. I've done that enough my whole life. Let's have some steak and chicken and all of it. But
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, and then also, but I think when I started just eating everything. Um,
Mhm.
so I kind of blew up. Uh, and that's how I kind of find my journey in fitness. You know, trying to be like, okay, this is not normal. Like,
Uh-huh.
let's control this weight situation going on. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, I'm
Excellent.
just amazed by how much the abundance of food over
Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
here.
So, here you are and you're in a totally different culture, um, surrounded by different types of people,
People
but
from
I
all
bet
over the world as well.
yeah, so I tell me about your tribe there in because you know how we all have our friends that back us up, that we
Mhm.
feel like they're family,
Mhm.
right? Tell
Yeah.
me about your tribe there in Berkeley.
Uh, funny enough, like the tribe that I've been closest to, especially over the last 10 years, are people that I actually knew from high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the strength of the relationship, we just kept nurturing it over time.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so, but I have had different kind of found families, even when I lived in LA.
Uh-huh.
There were people that, I was very, very close with, and then in Berkeley and now in San Francisco.
Yes.
It's yeah, it's just relationships that have been nurtured over time,
Awesome.
yeah. Um, but a lot of those people are people I went to high school with. Yeah, one of them I actually went to middle school with him.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's amazing when you could stay friends for so long, isn't it?
it is, and I realized that in America it's actually not very normal. I tell
Right.
people like, "Oh yeah, this is my friend from high school." I'm like, "What? I don't even talk to people from college." Yeah, it's
I
different.
had somebody on Facebook that texted me or messaged me and said, "Is this Angelica from Burbank School, Elementary School?" And I
Oh,
go,
you,
"Get out! Is this Tina?"
oh
And then
wow.
and it's such a it feels so good to connect with somebody that you haven't talked to, that you played with when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, you were in Burbank next to Glendale?
No, this is Burbank in Hayward, California.
Oh, there's a Burbank in Hayward, East
Yeah,
Bay.
a Burbank school, Burbank
Ah,
Elementary.
oh, gotcha,
But,
gotcha.
I don't think it's a school anymore. I think hmm, we passed by it last year and things change, you know?
Yeah, Hayward is not what it used to be.
Mhm. Yeah. Well,
East Bay,
this has been such an exciting conversation. I
really.
don't wanna finish it, but we're already at 6:29, and
Oh,
it's
really?
time Yes.
Oh,
So,
wow.
um, we're
Interesting.
definitely we're definitely gonna continue, being in touch because I'm definitely going to San Francisco, and you're coming to LA soon. So,
Yes, yes, yes,
we
yes.
we gotta
And
we
I
gotta
saw
def
your number. I'll just
Yes,
text you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me, Michael, what is one of the things that you'd like to tell everybody if they want to accomplish their dreams? Or if they want to give a TEDx talk?
That could work as well. Absolutely. I think one thing I would like people to understand is that there is no set in stone measure for success. We we determine what success is to us.
Mhm,
Uh, like if you became a neurosurgeon because dad wanted you to become a neurosurgeon, you may feel like a failure because that is not stemming from your intuition from deep within you. Uh,
mhm,
yeah, but it's also like if you do something that you love, then makes it makes a world of difference. So if there's a goal that you feel in your heart and you believe in, like you've conceived it, you believe it, then the next step would be to achieve it.
mhm,
So whatever the goal is, no matter how crazy it may seem, um, just know that it's actually possible. Like it is really possible. Like because during the TED talk, I was telling them that I was studying for SAT with kerosene lamp.
mhm,
Like when we wanted to, there was no power supply. I was in a completed building. The water that we use went to the stream to fetch it. Power
mhm.
supply again, like once every 2 weeks. And when it comes, it's a cause for celebration. It's like up NEPA.
Yes.
And if someone can go from that situation and go to a school where the lecturers, the professors are actually writing the textbook that the whole country is using, like
That is awesome.
sitting with Nobel laurels and Olympic athletes, and I'm like, wow, the mind is really a diamond mind.
Mhm.
Mine is it's a diamond mine of its own. You know, like we can harvest diamonds from, you know, the organ line between our ears. So like it's just being very extremely relentless, not taking no for an answer, not letting anyone define what success is for you. You know,
Yes.
yeah, it's have crazy dreams because it's the people that have that gusto, the that dare to believe. They are usually the ones that are able to change the world and achieve
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
absolutely.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Really, yeah.
Really enjoyed my time here with you.
Me
And I'm
too.
sure everybody that's listening to this is going to really be inspired. So
I'm looking forward to it.
I
Yes.
love you, my new friend.
Absolutely, Angelica. I love you too. Thank you so much for having this. Thank you for
Mhm.
having me. Should probably do a part two at some point. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, that would be great.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so then we will get back. I'll see you in a couple of weeks when you come to LA and everybody, thank you so much for listening in and meeting this wonderful man, Michael Omeka. Very inspirational. And be sure that you follow him on LinkedIn. But he also, how would they get together and follow you? Do you have a website, or is there another place they can connect?
They can also connect on my Instagram. I'm very active there as well, but it's usually Instagram and LinkedIn. I
Hmm.
also check my chats, my DMs a lot now, much more than I used to.
Hmm. Hmm.
Thank God for growth.
And of
uh,
course, you're going to be on the TED Talk. Is going to be out soon.
um, I don't know for sure. Yeah, there's really no telling because that's just out of our control, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
up to the TEDx team, but I hope they actually do it soon because yeah,
Well, they're gonna have to put it because it's already done.
it's done. It's been done. It's been done.
So
Yeah,
congratulations on all of
thank you
that.
very much. Thank you, Angela.
Yes.
Thank you.
Excellent. So everybody knows where to get in contact with you now, and we'll
Yes,
be in contact soon. Bye,
absolutely.
everyone.
Bye, everyone. Take
Take
care.
care. Bye bye.
Bye.